Right now at 11, what a morning. It is being called the largest IT outage in history. A faulty software update taking down businesses, transportation, and emergency services, not only here in the U.S., but all around the globe. Good morning, everyone. I'm Colton Bradford. Now, all of this stems from a faulty software update. This was issued by the cybersecurity company CrowdStrike. If you never heard of them, CrowdStrike is a vendor that helps develop software to help companies detect and block hacks. It was used by many of the world's Fortune 500 companies, including all of our major global banks, healthcare, energy companies as well, including Microsoft. Today, machines running Microsoft's Windows operating system crashed due to that problem with the way that CrowdStrike interacted with Windows there. So this morning, the CEO of CrowdStrike has apologized and issued an apology on the Today Show.
Many of the customers are rebooting the system, and it's coming up, and it'll be operational because of we fixed it on our end, and some of the systems that aren't recovering, we're working with them. So it could be some time for some systems that just automatically won't recover. But it is our mission, is why we're here, to make sure that every customer is fully recovered, and we're not going to relent until we get every customer back to where they were, and we continue to protect them and keep the bad guys out of their systems.
So with that, if you were one of those folks who were updated, we have team coverage for you this morning, tracking multiple impacts across the state. Let's begin with the airline industry. Our Manoj Kwangwari live for us at Logan Airport. Manoj, good morning to you. Multiple carriers, they issued ground stops, and some passengers were told just flat out to go home.
Well, when you think about it, at last check, we saw that at least 1,400 flights here in the U.S. were canceled as a result of this incident. It's why you take a look at the amount of people here. Many of these people thought that they would be at their destination, but of course they're here. Now, in the latest statement sent to us by the FAA, leaders wrote that they're closely monitoring this technical issue and they're helping any airline that may need assistance. But if you take a look at this line right now, you can imagine just how frustrated some of these passengers are. Some of them have been here since 4 or 5 in the morning, and they're continuing to be turned back. This line here at Spirit in Terminal B is just for people rebooking their flights. They were actually told they couldn't even get boarding passes earlier on this morning. Now, of course, we know that this is all because of a software issue that disrupted many of the computers on multiple airlines. You mentioned it, and I'll say it again. This is being considered one of the largest IT outages in history. We were able to speak to some passengers who were feeling some of these effects early in the morning. Go ahead and take a listen to what one had to say.
That's news, because we didn't get any emails this morning. So I'm surprised to hear that.
I mean, have you seen a scene like this just at the check-in counter?
Yeah, when we were in Europe last year, and they brought the entire British air system to a stop. We saw the same kind of chaos.
So you've seen something sort of similar to that?
Yeah, I knew something was going on. There's this many people here this early in the morning.
And again, we're here at Spirit. It would be easier to tell you which flights are actually leaving here from Logan. In an intercom announcement we heard just minutes ago, they said that the only Spirit flights leaving Logan at this time are headed to Atlanta, Charlestown, and Columbus. That means those headed to California, Chicago, or anywhere else really for that matter are not leaving. They've been told to rebook, and that they potentially may be able to receive a refund. Of course, that's not what you want to hear if you were headed to vacation or if you're headed home. Of course, this is something that we'll stick on, and the second we get more updates, we'll be sure to keep you guys updated. But for right now, we're live here in Logan. Manoj Kwangwari, NBC 10 Boston.
Definitely not what you want to hear if you're starting your vacation. Manoj, thank you. Let's go to the city right now. City of Boston slowly recovering, but we can tell you in good shape as of this morning after all of this outage here. A city spokesperson released a statement encouraging residents to call ahead before attempting to access services at municipal buildings. They also added that the city's first responder agencies are able to operate and respond to emergencies. Now, the global outage affected multiple RMV locations in the state. MassDOT saying all in, person appointments here are canceled until noon, except for road test appointments, which are being held as we speak. As of right now, the Registry of Motor Vehicles cannot perform vehicle inspections, and they can't take credit card payments online. The RMV has also limited its capacity to accept phone calls at the call center. Now, as you can imagine with something like this, the ripple effect, right, of this IT outage, it's reaching trains and riders in the Boston metro area. Let's get right over to NBC 10's Oscar Margain. He's live for us at South Station. Oscar, good morning to you. What's the impact for you there at the station?
Hey, Colton. Well, the impact is actually MBTA-wide in the sense of the commuter rail. These are monitors that are being impacted because they're not able to display the ETA on train schedules and also announcements. Take a closer look right over here. These are the blue screens that a lot of people are noticing when they're turning on their Windows computers this morning, and it's very similar out here. Right now, the only issue with the MBTA is affecting the commuter rail, as I mentioned. Now, this is what it looked like earlier this morning when the outage was impacting the subway lines as well. But just about an hour ago, those were fixed. Now they're working on the signage and the monitors for the commuter rail. Now, the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, which oversees the MBTA, says it is the only executive branch agency that uses CrowdStrike in a significant way, they said. CrowdStrike, as you mentioned, Colton, is a cloud software that runs on Microsoft systems, which is believed to be the source of the computer glitch that we've seen this morning. Now, they say that this is not a cyber attack, but rather a defect in a recent Windows update. Now, the MBTA posting this on X, saying a vendor technology issue continues to impact commuter rail real-time train location, arrival prediction info, and departure boards in stations. But the trains here are operating as intended. Now, we're going to continue to monitor those monitors here at the South Station and across the MBTA. Now, a spokesperson for the MBTA said that so far, at least for the time being, this is the only issue that they're experiencing related to that computer outage. Reporting live from South Station, Oscar Margain, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, Oscar, thank you. Now, let's stay on the ripple effect here, because another major industry that's experiencing issues as a result of the outage is the healthcare industry. We know several hospitals were forced to postpone multiple procedures. NBC 10's Alicia Palumbo continues our team coverage for us this morning. She's live in the city. Alicia, good morning. What are you hearing from those hospitals?
You're reporting on computer outage?
Well, Colton, we want to stress that all emergency care and all critical care is being taken care of. It's the elective procedures that are being postponed. And the trouble is some hospitals can't even contact the patients, call them or message them because they can't access their electronic records. Several hospital systems in the Boston area are postponing elective surgeries and medical appointments in the aftermath of a global IT outage. That's because more than 40 hospitals and healthcare systems in Massachusetts use a cloud-based electronic health record system that's been impacted by the digital disruption called Epic.
Epic is the only thing we use at Mass General. I know other departments use other systems, but we use Epic only. So it's a big deal that is down.
Mass General Brigham and Dana-Farber are among the healthcare giants postponing non-emergency procedures Friday. Meanwhile, Boston Medical Center, Beth Israel Lahey, and Tufts Medical Center all say they're open for clinical care, but that patients should be prepared for some delays.
Do not be mad at the doctors or anybody or medical staff because you guys like to take it out on us.
MGH is using what's known as downtime procedures, and we're told hospitals do train for situations where their electronic systems are down for an extended period of time. But as a source at Newton Wellesley Hospital tells us, it's a little like being back in the dark ages, using paper charts, lab requisition orders, and lots of phone calls between different departments.
It's too much, like this can't be happening, especially when everything relies on technology.
Kate Arsenault is visiting her uncle while he battles lung cancer at Mass General. She says while she's grateful this outage shouldn't interrupt his critical care, she's concerned about others who aren't able to get care.
It's better, anyone who's here, but I think it also sucks for people who have appointments that might be wicked important,
Now, it's also unclear how long it will take to reschedule any of those postponed appointments due to this outage. I will note we just had a surgeon from the Brigham come up to us and tell us he showed up for work at 6:30 this morning and was essentially sent home because there was no way he could do surgery today. We're live in Boston. Alicia Palumbo, NBC 10 Boston.
Wow. Alicia, thanks for your reporting for us this morning. Now, beyond that, everyone, some BJ's wholesale locations also impacted by this global outage. Customers who don't have a physical membership card, they cannot be be looked up in the system. Simple as that. So be sure if you're planning on shopping at BJ's today that you plan to do so. Returns cannot be processed at the moment. Cash is not accepted. However, they are able to take credit and debit cards. It's unclear how many locations were affected and how long that will last. Also impacted, right on time for the morning commute, this is Starbucks in Beverly. You can see the sign on the door right here saying it's closed. Early this morning, an employee told us it was because of the outage, so she was making the best of it and giving out free coffee to those out there. We're continuing to follow the impacts of this Microsoft outage here in Boston and around the world for you. We'll keep you updated as the systems begin to reboot and slowly but surely operate normally on the air and online at NBC10boston.com.